Hello, investors. This is Zhang, portfolio manager at Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, October 8th, 5:31 p.m., coming to you from New York City. State of the market, we're still in the uptrend. As you look at the GROTECTION gauge to the right, we still have the four coveted green arrows. Market leaders are green, still acting well. You can see that by our leaders lists. Short-term trend is up, medium-term trend is up as well, and same with the long-term trend. We had the neutral on the mid caps, but we started reclaiming some key moving averages today. And with another close above 21 EMA, we'll take that sub arrow off the GROTECTION gauge. So what happened today? Just like that, with some fears from Oracle, some inflation fears yesterday on a down day. Just like that, S&P and Nasdaq are back to all-time highs. 21 over 21 list, up 2.56%, 16 stocks up, 0 neutral, 5 down. Turbo 12 up 1.5%, 9 stocks up, 0 neutral, 3 down. Big 8 up 0.99%, RG8 up 1.64%, S&P 500 up 0.58%, RSP up 0.33%, the Qs up 1.15%, QQEW equal weighted up 1.10%, Dow Jones flat, really did nothing, 0.00%. Mid caps up 0.97%, and small caps up 1.04%. Sorry, I was just moving something on my screen over. And then global 60/40 equities bonds up 0.40%, protection up 0.82%, and turbo up 1.35%. So as always, let's jump right into it with the chart of the S&P 500. You can see there's actually not too much to talk about with this chart. Yesterday we had a down day. It was just, let me see. It just missed the distribution day because its volume was not higher than the previous day. That was just right back to the 8 EMA. And today we made a new all-time high. So as long as we're trending above the 8 and the 21, with the 8 rising above the 21, we're in an uptrend, a defined uptrend to our view, especially above a rising 50 as well and rising 200. There's nothing to worry about above 8 and 21. The same is true for RSP. We broke out, pulled back in, found support the 8, upside reversal today, continues to trend well. The Nasdaq new all-time highs, trending the 8 and 21. There's really nothing else to be said here. You can see this RS line has been underperforming in S&P since, or performing the same as S&P since June, but we're starting to break out here a little bit. Yesterday, though, on the Qs, we did lock a distribution day. QQEW, same thing, all-time high close, trending the 8 EMA and 21 EMA, so good action. Dow is pretty much flat, but closed above 8 EMA. Just building this little flag here, see if we can break to the upside. Mid caps, like I said, yesterday closed below 8 and 21, so we shifted that to neutral. Today we closed back above the 8 and 21, and with the second close tomorrow, we will take off the yellow sub arrow for the mid caps. And this is the level I'm watching, this 332295 level. If we break that, we'll really have a cup with handle breakout on mid caps. You can see it's more of a V-shaped cup, but with that, that would be very constructive. Finally, the Russell small caps found support the 8 EMA, and I want to see us take out this level and take out 2,500 to see some new highs and continue this trend up for small caps. I mean, with the rate cuts, then we definitely have some tailwinds for small caps right now, at least in the near term, as long as there's no recession. VIX down 4.64%. We'd like to see that, especially as markets are trending higher. Lower volatility means easier trend. Dollar is actually perking up here, back above the 821 and 50 day. You can see it broke this downtrend line, had this undercut reclaim, got tight, and now expanding. You can see this dollar potentially move to the 200-day moving average. We're right pressing up against the 30-week moving average, with the 40-week still above. And finally, a big level for the dollar is this 100 level right here. And we'll see what happens if we end up reclaiming that. Historically, with previous correlations, a strong dollar has led to some weakness in the markets, especially you can see right here when it really started breaking out. Strong dollar led to weakness in the markets. Gold, just extraordinary. I mean, what else is there to say? Another day up, another all-time high for gold. Huge volume coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, working on its 8th week in a row out of this multi-week 18-week base. Look at the 10-year cup with handle, which we've talked about before 2 years ago. Wow, it's crazy that 2 years passes so fast. But as you can see, the bigger the base, the higher the space, and the more sustainable the move. Silver, same thing, catching up to gold. Beautiful trend along the 8 EMA. When the best runners run, they trend the 8 EMA and the 21 EMA really well. Just amazing from this action. Bitcoin, just 2 weeks ago, it looked like Bitcoin's looking to break down, but it held 110,000, 112,000, reclaimed the 821 and 50 day, and now we shot up into new highs, but maybe we'll just put in the high handle up here. So Bitcoin's looking really good. On the other hand, ETH is looking decent as well. Yesterday we saw a bearish engulfing on volume, but we found support today at the 8 and 50. So we'll see how this handle develops. 4,800 is the key level here. And once this breaks, I believe it appears we can have a good chance at all-time highs. Solana as well, watching this flag build, you can see building higher lows, starting to surf the 821 and 50, maybe a little bit more tightness on this right side. You can break this downtrend line. We visualize it like that. Finally, bond market 2 years up a basis point today at 3.58%, and the 10 years at 4.12%. Really no movement today. With that being said, that is it for the inter-asset correlation part of the video. And now I want to bring up the tail of the tape as always. Bull case, we're still trending above the 21 EMA. Above that, we're operating on the bull case. Some news today, we had Elon Musk's XAI finished a $20 billion funding round, and NVIDIA participated in that funding round. Seems like NVIDIA is sprinkling all their dollars around in OpenAI and Oracle and many other startups as well. Rocket Lab had a deal as well. They signed another multi-launch deal with Institute for Kyushu Pioneers of Space, making Rocket Lab the primary launch provider to deploy the company's commercial Earth imaging constellation. And that was up decent today as well. Started reversing, closed midday. And then finally, gold over 4,000 ounce for the first time ever, continues higher. Just amazing action. That could be on the heels of inflation worries, high government deficit, low trust in our politicians and people running the governments all around the world. This government shut down as well. Of course, the gold move started well before the government shut down. So it's more of a probably flock to hard money because fiat is useless as we just continue to print, and print some more. So continue on with the tail of the tape. Let's see here. Today's keys, we're watching the S&P versus the 8 in all-time highs. We closed in all-time highs for the S&P. We're watching the Qs, 8 EMA versus all-time highs. We also closed in all-time highs for the Qs. And then the Russell versus the 8 EMA and all-time highs. We held support at the 8. Still no all-time highs yet. Day count down 1 to up 1. 9 days above the 8 EMA, 26 days above the 21 EMA. S&P ATR is at about 0.73%. Strong sectors today. Bond yields were up, dollar was up, tech, industrials, utilities were up, RG genomics were acting so strong, and I'll show some major components in that ETF that's sparking the move. Gold, silver, and miners. The crypto miners are pretty much data center AI plays now. Semiconductors, IBD 50 were up. So a lot of sectors up. On the downside, energy, oil and gas, real estate, staples, and regional banks. In GROTECTION, we had no changes. 1.52 beta, 6.64% open heat. In Turbo, we trimmed BABA. First close, we're actually second close below the 8 EMA after this nice move up. And then we also bought some BMNR, which is the ETH treasury play for more higher beta Ethereum. The 64.25 level is key. It's starting to build a cup with handle here. This looks pretty explosive. Over 61 looks like a decent buy as well. So definitely watching this for tomorrow for potential more add-ons. Bottom line is just like that, the S&P and Nasdaq back to all-time highs. Thursday's keys pretty much the same as today. S&P, Nasdaq, and Russell watching versus the 8 EMA and all-time highs. So back to this ARKG strength, amazing strength. Came out this cup with handle, retested it, retested the high of the handle, and then continued higher. we just recently broke this key weekly level as well. So now this is officially in a stage 2 uptrend. You can see the relative strength line is making higher highs as well. So this is really showing extraordinary strength. And this is the ARC Kathy was genomic ETF in the biotech industry. And you can see some of the main names that moved today. CRISPR Therapeutics, Intellia Therapeutics was another CRISPR name. Beam Therapeutics, which is CRISPR, but they work on base editing, which is replacing a singular nucleotide in DNA. And then prime editing as well. This is even more advanced technology, prime editing, which is replacing a complete sequence of nucleotides or base pairs in DNA. And for those that don't understand what that means, it's all good. It's just some biology jargon I learned in college. Some other names like CRBU are all acting well in this ETF. So this is why ARCG is acting so well. And this is when we wanted to get in, but it kind of got away from us and it's extended now. Of course, this is just getting started, at least based off the weekly and monthly charts. So there's another opportunity. We'll definitely look to get into some of this. All right, so now I just want to we'll go over the portfolios real quick, and then we will finish off the 21/21 list in Turbo 12. So let's go over what's constant in our portfolios. We already talked about the S&P, so there's no need to go over SPLG, UPRO, and SSO. We have TNA, which is a 3X in Turbo, which is a 3X IWM. This looks really good. It looks like it can break to the upside. We have TQQQ as well, which is triple Qs that close at all-time highs. And GROTECTION with PPH, great upside. Burst off the Trump policy changes and deregulation for pharma. Bitcoin and GROTECTION, we bought it this day right here. It was kind of like a double bottom break, ripped to the highs, now building a flag here. And this looks still really good, actually, right here. Potential IBIT buy tomorrow over this inside day. It could be a decent entry. Next, ETHA owned in both portfolios. Big UNR, ripped to the highs, found some resistance up here, bearish engulfing, found support at the 821.50 are line now. So I want to see this candle just build out and see something like that. Dash only owned in GROTECTION, broke out to new 52 highs, or actually is that all-time highs? Yep, new all-time highs actually. So a great action from Dash, straight in all-time highs. NVIDIA owned in both portfolios, great flat base breakout, retest the base and looking to confirm higher. MP owned in both portfolios, volatility as we build this handle. As long as we hold this low, all is well. Let's see if we can see some volatility contraction and then a breakout. Tesla owned in both portfolios as well. Huge breakout out of this base. Now we're just surfing the 21 EMA upside reversal today. And we'll see maybe break that down trend line. There's a mini flag forming here as well. Hood owned in both portfolios too, just trending guns to 8 EMA. Nothing too much to say here. MBIZ owned and grow, trending along the 8 EMA. How this earnings continue or news continuation, U-turn setup, amazing move as well. This is on the Microsoft deal. Started pulling back, U-turn, and now made a great move. And then Snow. This has been a multi-week delayed reaction. Gapped up on earnings, U-turned. We got stopped and then Don added back and grow. And now this is looking to make new higher highs, new 52-week highs, which looks amazing. INOQ, we trimmed 50% of it yesterday. Don bought on this day down here at the pullback, still above the 8 and 21. So we're letting it trend. Definitely some weakness in the quantum names now. Core and then BE, own and grow. Don bought it on this day right here. And now we're just flagging at the highs. And then finally PLTR, setting up a couple of handles. Shakeout 2 days ago, getting tight now. And finally, finish off Turbo, Core Reef, found support the 21, rose today, decent action. Circle, looking to round out this IPO base. 50 days still declining, so maybe we need that to turn up before Circle gets going. LEU continues to trend well above the 8 EMA. BABA we talked about. MU also trending nicely above the 8 EMA. And then that is really it for the portfolio. So let's go over some top names in the 21 over 21 list and Turbo 12, and then as well as some top losers, and we'll call that a day. CoreWeave was the biggest up name in 21 over 21, up 8.7%. Found support the 8 EMA, reclaimed the 8. Found support the 21 EMA, reclaimed the 8, and now back to the highs of this range. And this range 140 area has given CoreWeave trouble, so we'll see what happens. And then this 150 level is huge above too. CRDO is also up 8.5%, found support at the 50-day, reclaimed the 8 and 21. ANET up 8.3% into new all-time highs. That looks great. If ANET, a big name like this, and AI data centers are doing so well, it's hard to see the group start at the top. Snow closed at new 52-week highs out of this earning continuations flat base. MU continues trending up 5.84% above the 8 EMA. Hood up 4%, trending above the 8 EMA. And yeah, like these trends are so amazing. What a short flag, and it's still just trending higher. Hood, actually, let's look at this. Big move off the lows, building a cup, started building a handle, and it just breaks out, makes a huge move from this 130 to 200. What a move that was. Hood, same thing. Extended move out of this couple handle, inverse head and shoulders, and now we gapped up on S&P inclusion, pulled back a little bit, and we've continued higher. MBIZ, we talked about this already. On the downside, MP is just building its base. This is the name I'm keying in on. Really watching this to see this develop. 821.50 are stacked on top of each other. I'd love to see just volatility tighten before we make a move for the highs. LEU down, but still well with 8 EMA, so nothing wrong. PHM, a home builder, cracks the 8 and 21 and 50, so that's a warning sign for home builders. EQT, building the right side here. It's a little wedging, so I would not be surprised if it shook out before doing something like that. And then STX also pulling back with other memory names, breaking the 8 on the 21 EMA. In the Turbo 12, the biggest up name was CRDO. We already talked about that. SCCO, copper name, out of this flat base. Really nice move from 106 to 130. Nice 30% move. Soundhound broke out this flag up 3.74% today. It did come in though. It was much higher, and then saw afternoon weakness before closing fine. AAOI breaking this cup with handle, confirming it after retested. 31.58 is also a level that it closed over, and this could potentially be a continuation opportunity tomorrow. That looks pretty good. METC, coal name, just continues to trend higher. And then on the downside, INOQ pulling back after a 60-70% plus move, completely fine action right now. Actually, going to quantum, still no parabolic signals yet. You don't have the largest daily candle. You don't have any exhaustion gaps. You don't have too many days in a row. This is still just a typical big base breakout, pull back to 21 and continue higher. So we'll see. This still might have another leg in it. Herein had an offering, but really it didn't. It just absorbed it inside day up here. And then Baidu was down, closing right at the 8 EMA. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. It is Wednesday, October 8th. If you have any questions or interested in becoming a client, you can email me at ted@revereasset.com. Twitter X is TedHZhang. My phone is 855 Real Wealth. That is 855-732-5932. Our website is revereasset.com, and our social media is @RevereAsset on YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok. If you enjoy our content, please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate all of that and you guys interacting with us. That being said, this is Ted Zhang, portfolio manager at Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thank you for listening, and have a great rest of your week.